Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the ABUS 83AL45, and if you're thinking this lock looks quite familiar, it's because I've actually already had a look at this lock on my channel. It's just that I wasn't able to pick it before. This lock is from the ABUS 83 series, which is my favourite series of locks from all times because it's been so cleverly designed. ABUS have designed this so that you can get a number of different locks. This one is actually aluminium, it's from the titalium series. They also do the standard 83, which is brass. You can get locks from the ABUS Rock series for high security, the ABUS Extreme series for maximum weather resistance, and also you can get the ABUS 90 RK50, which has all stainless components. It's been very cleverly designed so that all the cylinders are interchangeable. And what's even cooler is that ABUS offer a huge selection of different keyways in these cylinders. So if you've got, for example, a master keyed system with quickset keyways, you can get quickset cylinders to go in your padlocks. And they also do an adapter piece for a key and knob cylinder, so you can use key and knob cylinders in these padlocks, which is very cleverly thought out, I have to admit, and it's the reason why this is probably my favourite series of locks of all times. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the 83AL45, as I already mentioned, and this is quite a rare one, certainly here in the UK. To get a hold of one of these, you normally have to import them from America or Australia, and this one was very generously sent to me by Tony S. Locks in France, who got his ones from someone in America, I believe. But anyway, very generous of him, and these locks just look super stunning, and they are incredibly well made as well, as you can expect from ABUS. Now this one has another quirk to it. This actually has the ABUS 888 core in it, which is a high security cylinder by ABUS, and we've already had a look at the miniature version of the 888 cylinder, but this has been very well thought out. It's actually a protected cylinder. Its main purpose is actually key control, so when you get these locks, you normally get them with a key card, so you can only get keys cut if you've got that key card, and interestingly enough you only seem to get one key with these cylinders. So my primary thought is that these are perhaps used for lockout applications, for lockout tagout. But anyway, I've already talked about this lock in a previous video, so what I'm going to do is try to pick it in this one, try to take it apart, and then we'll maybe have a look at some more features that we've got inside here. Alright, so give me a second and I'll just clamp it up. And I was very relieved to hear the other day actually that someone else was having similar problems in picking their the same model of lock, so it can't just be me. Alright, so we just get set up here. So I'm going to tension this with a homemade windshield wiper tensioner, and that slots down into the middle. Now, although this keyway is quite restricted and quite jagged, it's not actually all that narrow, so we can use a fairly wide pick, and the key itself is actually pretty thick. If we have a look there, it's quite a chunky key. I believe this cylinder has 6 pins in it. I'd be surprised if it didn't. Alright, so we're just going to go right in there and have a prod around. Already we've got binding on one. That's a nice click out of one. Let me just readjust my lighting. Binding on 3, I think we've got click out 3. Felt like 4. we've lost our false set. Oh, back to 1, click out of 1, this feels like 2, click out of 2, that was another click on 1, back to 4 that feels like, back to 1, so it seems like 1 is probably a standard pin and a bit of a gatekeeper. That feels like pin 3, let me just readjust so you've got some sort of view of what's going on. So we're into quite a deep false set right now. I think 6 is quite a deeply cut one, so let's see. Okay, I think I've either half set or overset a pin, so I'm just going to drop some pins again. Back to 1 again. Let's have a fish around, let's see what we've got. I think 6 is holding us up. Back to 2. And that was 6 we got an open on. Yeah, so I definitely thought that 6 was holding us up there. As you can see, it's just a shallow cut there. So anyway, a very challenging pick, and I think what's most challenging about it is it's quite difficult to, sometimes you can get caught on this jagged warding. Alright, so now let's take it apart. I shall grab it in a pinning tray. Alright, now before we even have a look at the pins, there are a couple of nice features I want to take a look at. Okay, so this cylinder didn't actually come with a Z-bar in the back of it, which almost kind of rules out the idea of this being a lockout tagout padlock, because normally lockout tagout padlocks are required to be key retaining, whereas without the Z-bar this is non-key retaining. Now I've actually robbed a Z-bar out of another lock, and you can actually buy them separately, but I just want to show you quickly what this little piece of stamped brass will do. They are incredibly fiddly, but if we place it on the back of the actuator with the little black dot on it facing upwards, if I can do this, like so. If we do that, that turns this lock into a key retaining lock, so like so. So we actually cannot remove the key when the shackle is open. It's a little security feature to prevent the lock from being left unlocked. Okay, and if we actually, this little bar has a dual function, because if we use it the other way up, the black dot facing downwards, we can actually use the key to change the shackle. Now I do this with the shackle pointing downwards like so, and if I turn against the spring tension there and hold it in this position, I can actually pull out the shackle. Now the shackle they gave us with this one was a short nanoprotect hardened steel shackle. Let's say we wanted a long shackle and we also wanted it to be stainless, we can do that. And you can actually buy separate shackles from Abus depending on what you need, which I think is super neat. Just remember to take that Z-bar out and flip it over, otherwise every time you open the padlock the shackle will just come out. But I think that's very well designed and well thought out. You can also buy a separate tool from Abus which allows you to do the same thing. So I think we're done with the lock body for now. Let's just take a look at this special 888 cylinder, and as we can see we've got extra drill protection up here, and a really nice feature on these is we've got a pinning window, and to access that we need to push in this spring-loaded pin on the back, which allows us to rotate back. And as you can see, all those pins had to be picked, and we can very easily, with that pinning window, just dump the pins out and rekey the cylinder very, very quickly. Alright, so let me grab some pinning tools. We'll just slip this clip off here. I want to give a shout out to the lockpicking patrolman, because I'm sure he will be watching this video. He is like-minded. He is a very big fan of these ABUS 83 series locks. So one thing we have got to watch with these spring-loaded pins down here is that these don't pop out up into the chamber up here, because if that happens, that's not coming out again without a lot of surgery. So we're going to make sure that that pin is pointing downwards and it's well away from these chambers up here. That's something that has ruined many 83 series cores. Alright, so slowly but surely, out we come. No mishaps, that's good. We've got a load of drill protection on the core itself, and we've also got a hole on the side so we can do construction keying with these locks. I'm going to dump these out. I expect them all to be standard. Yep, all standard brass pins. And we'll take a look up at the top here. We have a very lightly serrated pin in chamber number 1. Somebody mentioned that the light serrations in these pins is actually intended for holding graphite or something, but I'm not sure about that. Let me know what you think down below. And there we had a spool just pop out. I expect the rest of these will be spools. And the last one. So all chambers are loaded. Very nice, and that pinning window even allows us to see inside there. Alright. Very, very nicely machined and great work by ABUS. I actually think this cylinder could be a brass one with a plating on it. And I don't think there's anything, let me just get this under the magnifier, I don't think there's anything, no, there's no modifications to the core itself. Anyway, very, very nice padlock by ABUS, and it's a pity we can't get more of them around here. I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at it today, and I want to give a big shout out to Tony S. Locks for sending it to me. I will link his channel down below, as well as the Lockpicking Patrolman, who's made a number of videos on these ABUS padlocks. I'm also going to give a shout out to Paul Crossdale, I believe it is, who sent me this padlock, and sent me the, not the padlock, but the replacement shackle and the Z-bar, which I was showing off to you today. Anyway, that's all for today. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again soon.